The record shall show all parties are present and the jury is present in the courtroom. And Ms. Hicks, I understand you are the jury foreperson. We have received a message on behalf of the jury that the jury has reached a verdict in this case or cases. There are 3 cases before the jury. Is this so now?
Yes, sir.
Is this verdict or verdicts unanimous ones? That is, one or ones that are agreed upon by all members of the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do any of the jurors disagree with your foreperson's representations? No disagreement is indicated. The verdict or verdicts do indeed appear to be unanimous. I'm going to ask you to please pass the documents to the bailiff. You may be seated. I will review for proper form and publish the verdict or verdicts. All right, the court has reviewed the verdict or verdicts. The defendant shall rise. In cause number 24 CR 300, the state of Texas versus Travante Nichols, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon as charged in the indictment. This verdict signed on behalf of the jury by the jury foreperson. In cause number 24 CR 301, the state of Texas versus Travante Nichols, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon as charged in the indictment, signed by the foreperson of the jury. And in cause number 24 CR 302, in the state of Texas versus Travante Nichols, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon as charged in the indictment, and this verdict as well is signed by the jury foreperson. All 3 guilty verdicts in these cases are received, made a part of the record for all purposes. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, at this time I have received and accepted your verdicts, finding the defendant guilty of the offenses of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 2nd-degree felonies in each of these 3 indictments that were before you. That brings us to a close of phase 1 of the trial. We will now go to phase 2, the punishment phase of the trial. And let me repeat once again, you are still under all the instructions that have been given to you before. Let me see the lawyers real quickly up here, please. Thank you. We're going to huddle for just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what we're going to do is take a break, about 10-15 minutes, relax, stretch your legs, report back outside, and we will bring you in, and the parties have an opportunity to present any additional information they wish for you to consider for the purposes of punishment. All the evidence in the guilt or innocence phase is also something that the jury will consider by law, can consider by law in your deliberations, but the parties can supplement that information with other type of information so that you can make a most thorough decision in this case. So, and I understand that the presentation of both parties will be succinct. So we're going to try to get this presented. I'll have a set of jury instructions that are much shorter on the punishment phase. There are certain things that don't need to be duplicated. And then the lawyers, upon the presentation of the case and completion of evidence, I will read to you the jury charge. The lawyers will make their final arguments, and then you will go back to deliberate on a verdict or verdicts or the punishment phase. That's our plan. Okay, thank you. Everyone else remain seated while the jury exits first. We have a verdict on punishment in this case. We will be presenting the verdict here in a few minutes. Stand by. The record shall show that all parties are present and the jury is seated in the courtroom. Ms. Hicks, as your jury foreperson, we have received a message from you on behalf of the jury that the jury has reached a decision in the punishment phase of these 3 cases. Is that true now?
Yes, sir.
Is this verdict or verdicts unanimous decisions, that is, ones that are made unanimously, all parties, all jurors present have agreed unanimous to these decisions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any of the jurors disagree with your four persons representations? No disagreement. It does appear to indeed be unanimous. As before, if you would pass the documents to the bed, if you may be seated, ma'am, the court will review for proper form and publish the verdict or verdicts. And the defendant shall rise. In cause number 24, CR 300, we, the jury, assess the defendant's punishment at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a term of 14 years, signed by the jury foreperson. In cause number 24, CR 301, all of these cases being the state of Texas versus Travante Nichols, we, the jury, assess the defendant's punishment at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a term of 14 years, signed by the jury foreperson. And in 24 CR 302, we, the jury, assess the defendant's punishment at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a term of 14 years. And that is another verdict signed by the jury foreperson. You may be seated. The court has received and made a part of the record the decisions and verdicts in its punishment phase made by the jury. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, the jury, your duty as jurors is completed. At the beginning of the trial, I placed each of you under a number of instructions. And at this time, I am releasing you from those instructions previously given to you. One final instruction is added. Once you are discharged, you are released from your oath of secrecy. You are free to discuss the case and your deliberations with anyone. You are also free to refuse to discuss the case, and you have every right to maintain your silence unless otherwise ordered to do so by me. Whether it's serving in public office or serving to defend our country or serving to make the Constitution work, since a trial by jury is in the Bill of Rights. Without jurors, good citizens, we are unable for this country to work. And I want to thank you for doing your service and obligations as good citizens. I hope to have the honor to work with you in the future. Until then, may God continue to bless Jefferson County and her citizens, and you are excused. Thank you very much.